Hey y'all, welcome back to We Seek Summits Oil Spotlight A to Ylang Ylang. Next oil up is Siberian Fir. Guess where it's from?
I'm gonna guess Russia.
Yeah.
Because I know.
Because you know. Yes, this one's pretty obvious with the Siberian Fir, although it is all across that whole region, that northern region. But
yeah. So, firs, pines, chemistry-wise, there's a lot of pinene in there, and I'll get there. And so they have very similar smells, but botanically, Jesse was reading about the difference, and the difference comes down to pretty much the needles, because they're all conifers. So what's different about the needles?
Fir needles are single on the branch, and they're a little bit flat. You shouldn't be able to rub them between your fingers, and that's a fir. And doTERRA has two firs right now, Douglas fir and Siberian fir. They used to have white fir, and the only reason I mentioned an oil that we no longer have is because they could no longer source it sustainably, and they're not going to offer a product that they cannot source sustainably. So they stopped white fir and kind of found an upgrade in Siberian fir. And when Dr. Hill released it, he said basically it's all the chemistry, not chemicals, but the chemistry of white fir boosted. So more of them, more concentrations of the properties in here, with the exception of limonene, but there are plenty of others that have limonene. But looking at like the chemistries of the pines and firs, there are a few constituents across that whole spectrum, but just different amounts in each, and different combinations. And obviously all the things that we talk about are the unique chemistry of each oil and how it exists in a balance in this oil for that therapeutic grade. So when you isolate or try and change it, you're changing the benefits of it. So I guess with that, talk about Siberian fir and tell us a little bit about the chemistry.
Yeah, so I think when we talk about Douglas fir, we were talking about it's like the quintessential Christmas tree. I think is the term we use, so go check that video out.
Yeah.
But we're going to go a little bit more. I learned more about fir chemistry here, and
chemistry.
It's dominated by bornyl acetate.
Okay.
Like that is what you're going to get, and then it's also dominated by pinene, either alpha or beta, and so you get that smell.
So it's real sharp tree, bright, refreshing, like awakening.
It is, but Siberian is by far, I think, the best smelling fir. It is sweet, it is balanced, it is wonderful, and it's just an amazing scent. And so with these firs, as Jesse mentioned, you get higher concentrations of different constituents, and typically with firs you're looking at 3s. So you have the bornyl acetate, but Siberian is also, the other two are camphene and alpha pinene, whereas other firs may have more beta pinene or more saponine. And so that alters the smell of them, and just Siberian's amazing. So number one use, just purely for its fragrance, purely for its aroma, and there you go. And
how have you applied it so you can?
So I am smelling it right now, and I have not touched the bottle, as you can see, because I have a personal diffuser. And so anybody with a little bit of facial hair, just take that bottle. And just gently rub that restriction orifice across your stachio.
Your stash. Make the most of your mustache.
And there you go. You're set.
Your personal diffuser. You don't need like jewelry dangling.
That's right.
I can't believe it. Anyway, so yeah, personal diffuser. So when you smell this, we've talked before about how these smells go right to the limbic system, and it dramatically affects the brain, memory, and emotion, and calming. And so Siberian fir, even though the smell of it is kind of awakening and fresh for us, it's an incredible oil for calming anxious feelings, and in particular like helping through times of hardship and struggle and difficulty. And I was reading the whole description, and change and things that have been forced upon us, and a lot of stressors, and Siberian fir, and I was like, I need this oil daily, right now.
That's right. Yeah, we kind of got off the chemistry quickly. But,
sorry.
It is dominated, the firs are dominated by monoterpene chemistry. So very cleansing to our cells, very calming to our systems. So yeah, and then of course bornyl acetate is an ester, and then you also have its alcohol, which is bornyl. So you can use this oil for its cleansing properties, you know, mainly within the bodily systems. And what's interesting is normally we talk about you don't eat trees, so don't take them internally, but this one actually is there's a few exceptions. This is one of them.
Yeah.
I personally would diffuse it. I mean, I think because it is very calming to our systems, using it for a sleep support is really good. And I remember there was a time we were using this nightly with Serenity, just kind of because we love the smell of firs. I mean, we're kind of mountain people, we're fir people.
Fir people.
F-I-R, not U-R. And we're stuck in Houston, but go figure. So we bring them to our home that way. But blend wise, it is in the holidays, which I think we mentioned with the Douglas maybe.
Yes. Which we forget to mention those many times, but Holiday Joy and Holiday Peace are only available during the holidays. And Holiday Peace is my hands down favorite blend.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they're in those. Dominic had mentioned that we've been combining it with Serenity at night and diffusing those. And one of the reasons for that is that it helps promote clear airways and helps support the respiratory system and clear breathing. And when you breathe better, you sleep better. So you got all the good calming oils, good for brain oils, but open those airways and deep sleep.
And while this oil does smell like a fir, it does remind me of Breathe, even though it's not in the Breathe blend. It's not in there, but I think it's just that opening of the airways. It's great. But it is in Purify. So again, you know, very cleansing oil.
And we'll do this one when anything is like stanky in the house, like some garbage, or a child has left meat in the pocket of their car seat for a couple days.
Or laundry.
Laundry. This one stays in our laundry room, and we put a couple of drops on the dryer balls as we throw them in to help cleanse things in the clothes. It's also in Arise, which we've talked about before, is one of the yoga blends, the enlightening blend, and it's real subtle in here. Actually, I'm not sure I don't have a great nose.
No, I get more of the citrus and floral in there, but
it
does blend really well with some of those flavors. I think it's a middle note for your blends, to use it that way. And I think Jesse already touched on it. When it comes to the aromatherapy, it's really helpful for times of change, but also those changes that tend to come up as we age. You know, as we go through losses and different significant change in that regard, it is a very comforting and calming oil.
And helps kind of embrace that.
It does.
The growth that comes through overcoming difficulty.
I mean, I love them. I would let fir be diffused all day.
Yeah. Like I think we talked about when we talked about black spruce. It's really great for sore muscles. So this would be a great one to either add to a massage blend, or you could just massage it on, but really great for muscles. And as we were looking, great for things like frozen shoulder. And I remember somebody has dislocated both of his shoulders. It's pretty special. And the second one, we've been using a chiropractor, and we started using oils. We didn't know about them at first. And actually, that shoulder was frozen. Siberian Fir wasn't around yet, but it has recovered better than the first one. Using the oil. So Siberian Fir is one you could definitely use for all kinds of muscle support as well. Skin. We haven't talked about skin. So once again, like we say with so many ones, great for cleansing the environment. If you want to clean with this one, it would be awesome. But it's excellent for cleansing the skin. In particular, if you've got like kind of blotchy patches or some irregularities in pigmentation, Siberian Fir is a great one for helping to balance skin tone and give you a nice even skin tone. So use it in your skincare routine.
Yep, and I would say this one can be used neat. It is a little on the mild side, but because it's got that bornyl acetate, which is an ester, some folks can have sensitivities there, so just be cautious with this one. Definitely dilute, and you'll be good there.
When Dominic mentioned it is safe for internal use, this is not one that we've ever used to cook with. I think you probably could if you want. You could use it to infuse or aromatically if you want to. Basically, I'm thinking of a pastry chef who would use pine needles and kind of smoke meats and stuff, and he did some pastries with it. You could get real creative, but Dr. Hill talked about using it internally to, again, help calm those anxious feelings, that using it internally actually helps kind of super boost the desired effect, as it were. But it's another great oil for your immune support, and it helps kind of upregulate a lot of your body's internal workings.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
It's one that you could put. I would suggest putting in a veggie capsule.
Yeah, specifically, I think it is that upregulation. Also for your metabolism, it helps there, and just kind of a sluggish liver, a sluggish metabolism.
Yeah.
Internal support of Siberian fir is great there.
For blending notes, as Dominic mentioned, it's kind of middle. It grows great with the other woods and stuff, or you can kind of combine it with other herby things, so like rosemary, eucalyptus, clary sage. I had a note for the skin, blend with tea tree, cedar wood, and a floral, like a lavender. Great for skin.
Yeah, that's all I knew.
This is a pretty straightforward one. Chemistry was not the most complex. It's kind of one of those just use it because it just smells amazing.
I know. I think I've said that already 5 times in this video. But
yeah, you can tell. We really like the trees. We like the tree, and most people like the tree oils.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So I think we'll leave it there. Give us some comments. Let us know how you're using Siberian fir.
Yes.
Or if you just are trying it out as a result of listening to this, that is awesome. We're gonna be talking about spearmint next time.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Yeah. I guess if you had to get one tree to start with Siberian fir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You might be disappointed. All right. Bye, y'all.